Hi, my name is Andrea and I'm an excited lady today. I am filming my first YouTube makeup video today, and it's not like I have plans to be a YouTuber or anything like that. I decided to film this video because some friends have just kind of jokingly asked me, when are you filming your makeup tutorial? And the biggest reason that I finally decided to do this is because I have received an order from Kaleidos makeup. It is the collaboration between Angelica Nyqvist and Kaleidos, the Club Nebula palette, and Angelica has put together a playlist of YouTube videos featuring people using her palette. And I really want to be on Angelica's playlist. And I may never film another YouTube video again, but this one I really wanted to film. So I got the package on Monday, and I finally have had an opportunity to sit down and do this on Saturday. And it's actually going to be an unboxing, and then I'll do some makeup later as well. And so here's my package, and I can't believe that I had the self-restraint to wait until now to open this package, but that's what I'm doing right now. Just cutting this package open. And I'm very excited. I knew that if I even took the mail bag off of it, that I would be too tempted to open the entire thing, so I waited to do all of this until right now. So here's the box that the palette comes in. There's a magnetic closure here. This is like it's really cute. It's an invitation to the club, and there's some writing on the back. Let's see if I can get that to focus. And I'd seen this on other YouTube videos, and I think this is just an adorable idea. I really like that little detail. A box on the inside. It's definitely got like a high quality feel to the product. I do love Kaleidos. I have most of their Futurism palettes. I have 6 of the 7 of them, and they're these little 6-pan palettes, and I really enjoy those. I love those. I know that I love the Kaleidos formula, so I'm excited about this, and the packaging is always really nice and feels kind of special and heavy duty and, you know, kind of luxury. Here's the box containing the palette. I do save my palette boxes. I'll probably save this entire box. Here's the palette itself. I'm very excited about the packaging. Wow, I'm just noticing my fingernails. I guess that's the kind of thing that other people think about, but I didn't think about because I don't do this for a living. So the package has this raised lettering, and these little dots around the edge are raised, and they're really pretty, look like jewels. It's very exciting packaging. I know that I liked it from the time that I was seeing it revealed by Angelica, and then it says Kaleidos, Club Nebula, Angelica Nyqvist. And here's the palette. Shades. Ooh, this is, I keep these too, and this one's a heavy duty one. I like that. So here's the palette with the shades. Since I'm mostly filming this for my friends, I'll tell you a little bit about Angelica. She is a Swedish YouTuber. She used to be a model, and she's I think 37 years old. And so I really like Angelica because she films and she does her makeup in a way that makes sense for me. I'm 39 years old, and so your eyes do start to change. The texture on your eyelids, and even if you have a hooded eyelid like I do, the degree of the hood I feel like is changing over the years. So I like to watch Angelica because she takes all that into account. She has a style that is very accommodating to, I mean, it's weird to me to think of us as being mature or considered mature in the beauty community, but that's what it is considered. And so she does her makeup in a way that makes sense to me and kind of teaches me how to work with my face at this point in my life. So she's a sci-fi fanatic, and most or all of these names of the shades were chosen based on her love of sci-fi, and there's references in there that I don't get, but other people who enjoy sci-fi like she does, they might understand them. I'm not going to swatch the whole palette because I don't know I don't know how to do that for camera, but I am going to swatch just a couple of colors, and I'll do a look using a few of the shades. So I'm going to swatch, I think, 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. I'm really excited. I'm reluctant. This is the bittersweet part of getting a new eyeshadow palette. They're so beautiful before you've touched them, and I'm always reluctant to touch them. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So I'm gonna swatch, I think I'll swatch this teal green shade up here. And then I want it to be something that shows up on my skin. So I'll go ahead and do this darker purple shade here too. And then the shimmers, I'm going to do Firefly because that's the one I've really been excited about. And I think Nebula. We'll do Nebula, this orange or coral color down here. They feel very soft. I'm touching the mattes right now, that teal, that Queen of Blades shade, and it's very soft. I really enjoy the Kaleidos matte formula. So this is that shade, very pigmented. Now I know I need to do it on this part of my arm, not way over here. This is that dark purple shade. It's called Cylon. I'm going to swatch it right here. It's funny, I watch these videos all the time and you don't think about what kind of thought must go into the angles and the lighting, and I see all my junk in the background. I'm in my bedroom, so other people, it takes a lot more time and effort than I think I even really realized, and I watch YouTube videos all the time. So now here's that shimmery green shade, Firefly. It's a duochrome. So looking at it now, it has like a green and pink shift to it. It's on my fingertip. Let's see. Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to do swatches, because I don't know how to make them come into focus. Hopefully I can make it show up on my eyelids later. And I will try again just holding it up with my finger. Yeah, there's a trick to that. My husband set up the camera for me, so he probably set it up to focus on my face. But this color is amazing. And then I'm going to swatch this coral shade called Nebula. It is on my fingertip. I think this one should show up on my skin though, not on the camera. Yeah, I can't get that to come at all. Okay, well that's okay. So I have foundation on already. I don't do anything spectacular with my foundation. I use a store, or I use a drugstore brand. I use a drugstore primer and I apply it with my fingers. So there's absolutely nothing special to that. No real method to my madness. I just like something to just even out my skin tone. And I do have breakouts. I have a breakout right now. So I just like enough to cover that up. But I don't put a lot of effort into that. And I'm not very skilled at that. So we'll get started on the makeup in a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I took a little break and I'm back. I took my nail polish off and I'm gonna go ahead and film an eyeshadow look, and I've never done this before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm trying to keep in mind, be mindful of the lens over here. My big vanity mirror is over here, so my tendency is to turn this way, but I'm gonna try just using the mirror that's in the palette and go from there. This is just mostly for my friends anyway. I'm not really trying to be all that serious, so hopefully you guys will just be kind to me. I will try to show the brushes that I use, but I really don't use anything special in terms of brushes. I'm fairly new to makeup, and so I mostly have a collection of BH Cosmetics brushes because they're inexpensive, and if you buy a set, it's a good way to collect different shapes and different sizes. And then I don't have any high-end expensive brushes or anything like that, so for me I'm mostly looking for the shape of the brush, and I tend to use the same brushes. A handful of them I use almost every day, and then depending on what I'm doing I might switch it up and add something else in, but mostly I'm looking at the shape. So I'm going to start with the same brush I start with almost every day. That's just this BH Cosmetics brush. It says it's a Studio Pro 5. I don't even know if it's available on the site anymore. I hope so, because I would like to repurchase it because I use it every day, but I don't know. We'll see when I finally get around to trying to repurchase. And I'm going to start by using this shade right here, which is called Nebula, and that's this kind of neutral. It's kind of a mauve neutral. So I'm going to start with that. I use a primer, but actually what I use right now for priming my eyelids is just a ColourPop cream eyeshadow as a base, and it's just to kind of give it kind of a sticky texture so that my eyeshadow will cling to it. I'm sure there's better primers out there that I could be using, but that's what I have, so that's what I use, because I don't know, it seems wasteful not to. So it's this shade isn't meant, or when I apply this shade anyway, I'm not intending it to really show up very heavily or anything like that. It is pigmented and it's laying down fine, but the intention isn't really to have a lot of color with this one. It's just to kind of start. It's like a transition shade to kind of start building up the color. I'm going to do what I would consider a neutral look. These days what I think of as neutral is probably a lot different than what I would have thought of as neutral a few years ago. Like I said, I'm fairly new to makeup. I almost never wore anything until my daughter Delilah was born 5 years ago. I got acne after she was born, and it hadn't really been an issue for me before. So when Delilah was born, I started breaking out, and I felt like I needed to start wearing foundation. So I did. I switched to this. I bought this. It's a BH Cosmetics brush that I bought in a set, and so it's the number 6 brush in that set. And I'm gonna switch to this shade called Rock Hopper right here, kind of like this little. It's like a purplish gray kind of shade, and it's a matte. So I started wearing makeup foundation when Delilah was born, but that was pretty much it. I didn't really, and then maybe some mascara and things like that, blush, just things to kind of complete the look. But I didn't really do much with eyeshadow. And then I switched jobs to an office where a lot of the ladies were, I mean, everybody was just and this is still my current job. Everybody took really good care of themselves. Everybody always dressed nice. Their hair was done well, and it's not even that I wanted to fit in. It's that I liked the way that they looked, and I liked the care that they put into their appearance, and I wanted to look and feel like that too. So I started putting more effort into my appearance. I've never been one to do much with my hair, but makeup was kind of something that I could try and that I had always thought was fun, but just thought I wasn't very good at it. So, and I wasn't in the beginning, at least in terms of working with color. I enjoyed color. I like color. I'm drawn to the color, but it is, you know, it's a learning curve. And so I'd still say I'm learning. So I'm focused on the outer V part here, just kind of trying to build it up. Almost all of my eyeshadow looks, I use pretty much the same technique. Like I said, the same brushes. I have many brushes that are approximately this size and shape. And that's what I use them for, is to kind of start laying down another color. Start with my transition shade with that fluffy brush that you saw before, and then I go to a shade that's the next level deeper, and start building up the color a little bit. And I focus out here, but I do keep bringing it in, but I'm mostly focusing out here in the outer corner. So yeah, I started adding eyeshadow into my routine when I started with this office, and I really just found that I enjoyed it. And now it's not even just about the color or the makeup. I actually find it relaxing. You probably have noticed that I've become more comfortable talking as I'm applying this eyeshadow. It's relaxing to me. It's systematic for me. And I sometimes in the mornings when I'm getting ready, I'll even play the rosary in the background and say the rosary while I'm applying my makeup. I find it soothing. I find it relaxing. I often will have YouTube videos playing while I'm at work, because I find the descriptions and the voices of the YouTubers as they're applying their makeup, I find that to be soothing and relaxing too. I enjoy it. And when I'm done, there's a finished product and I have an eye look and I feel put together and I feel good about myself. And it's not that I spent most of my life not wearing makeup, so it's not, and I still frequently on the weekends will not wear makeup. So it's not that I think that I need to have it to leave the house. I just enjoy it. And I'm not, my life's very practical, very business-like a lot of times. And the makeup I find to be like a way to have a creative outlet that I don't otherwise have. And that's kind of how my love of makeup evolved. Eyeshadow is definitely my favorite thing. I do like blushes and highlighters and lipsticks too, but eyeshadow is definitely my favorite, the thing that kind of makes me feel like artsy. So that transition shade that I used earlier, I'm gonna go back in again with the same brush, and I'm gonna try not putting any product on there and see how that works. Because I have hooded eyes, and something I haven't quite figured out what it is, something about the texture of this eyelid in particular, it makes the line of that next deep shade seem a little bit harsh on my eyelid, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going back in to kind of blend that out to try to make it a little bit softer. My problem that I still haven't quite figured out how to overcome is that I start dusting away some of that darker color. It doesn't go up as high as I would want it to. And because I do have hooded eyelids, when I start dusting away that color, and it's no longer up here on this part of my eye. Instead, it's mostly focused down here on that eyelid. That part of my eyelid tends to disappear when my eyes are open, as you can see. So it's important to me to bring the color up high, or it's important to the look that I'm trying to achieve to bring the color up high. But then the line tends to look harsh, and when I try to soften the line, I do tend to blend the color away. So that's something that I've been working on, trying to figure out. It's a process. And you can learn techniques from watching YouTubers, but your face is your face and you like what you like. And so it's a process trying to figure out how to achieve what you want on your own face. So I'm fairly happy with that, and I'll probably go back and work with it some more. And I didn't put any more product on there. I just took that brush again because I did see that it's kind of fading away a little bit, and I'm going to use my big vanity mirror to check. And yeah, That's okay. That's okay. I like that. So now what I'm going to do is use I've normally what I would do is I would take the darkest shade that I'm going to use today, and it's probably going to be this one, which I think is pronounced Cylon, but I may add a little bit of Void, this navy blue up here. So I'm going to work on, normally what I would do is I would go ahead and add Cylon and Void right now using a small, like more detailed brush. This one right here. This is the brush that one of the brushes that I cannot live without, and it was part of a set. I don't even know if the set's still available, but for the shape of my eyes, this is really important to my work in the corner. So normally that's what I would do, but lately what I've been doing is I've been adding my shimmer at this point, and then using and then going back in with that deeper shade, because I find that I'm getting a better blend that way. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And I've decided, as much as I want to use that Firefly shade, I'm going to use this kind of lavender shimmer right here. It's called You're My Only Hope. And I think that's a Star Wars reference, right? Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. So I'm going to start with that one, and I use this fancy method called my fingers, and I am going to just apply some onto my finger, and then I put it onto my eyelid. I normally use a glitter glue. It's a clear adhesive, and I normally would put that on my eyelid with a brush before I put on my glitters, but it's the end of the night, and I'm just doing this because I finally had a chance to sit down and film. I don't need this look to last all day. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in right now using my fingers without a glitter glue. And this color is gorgeous, and I knew it would be. These shimmers are amazing. Kaleidos shimmers are amazing. It's a very special brand. I love what they're doing. I'm taking that brush and using that rock hopper shade again, that kind of mid-tone shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill in a little bit. I think it's because I use my fingers that that I find that the blend works better when I apply that, and then apply the shimmer and then go back in with the color again, because it's not a very precise method using your finger, and so it will tend to work its way into some of that color that I've already laid down. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that skinny brush and this color Cylon, which is that dark purple, and I'm going to start with that and see if that gets as deep as I would want. You do like that. I like purple. Purple eyeshadows, and these are cool tone purples, and it's I like that effect. So it's very pigmented, but I'm really not dipping into that pan very hard very much at all, because I know that the shadows are pigmented from what I've seen in the other reviews. And I'm gonna dip in again and go ahead and do this corner. And I know I'm quiet now. Maybe that's nice for you, but I'm quiet now because I find that I have to like hold my face fairly still. To get in that, like to really get deep in that corner. I think I'm happy with that shade in there. But I am going to go back in and add a little bit more shimmer because it is starting to dust away, which is not unusual when I start going back in with the mattes again and with my brush again. It's just kind of back and forth between the matte and the shimmer to get the look that I'm kind of trying to achieve. I didn't add any more color onto the brush. I'm just kind of trying to blend in what I have, but I will go back in probably one more time. One thing, the purple is very dark and that shimmer is very light, and so it's borderline harsh, the transition between the two. There is no real transition between the two. I'm trying to work it in to see if I can make the colors blend and make the line look a little less harsh. So what I think I'm going to do is just, I'm going to dip my brush into first the dark purple and then into this shimmer, and a lot of it won't pick up because the shimmers just, they don't pick up well on a brush like this. And I'm going to see if I can, yeah, so it is showing up a little bit, but my intention isn't to get a high color payoff like the same that I would get if I were using my finger. My intention is just to kind of serve as like a middle, like a more of a transition between that dark purple and that frosty lavender shimmer. And do it again on this eye. And now I want to get some more of this deep purple. My daughter's in the hall telling us that she needs to go potty, and my husband came up and ran interference and is telling her that she can go. This kid does whatever she wants, whenever she wants, and I don't know what it is about the potty and bedtime that she feels the need to announce and seek permission. She doesn't seek permission for most things that she does throughout the day. Anyway, he's so sweet. He's running interference out there. He set up this video equipment for me. He's set up his laptop, a microphone, all these things. He kind of enjoys the gadgety part of things, and so this is kind of a cool little thing that we're working on together. So I was debating whether or not to include that navy blue, but I think I'm happy with the way it looks right now. If I were gonna go out or needed this to last longer, I would probably deepen it up more with the navy blue, but I'm just gonna go sit on my couch and have a cocktail and watch a movie with my husband. So I don't need this to last. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to add that navy blue in there. I like the way it looks just like this. It's just that if I wanted it to last longer and the way that my eyes are set, it has nothing to do really with the quality of the shadows or anything like that, and everything to do with just kind of the way my eyes are set and the fact that I have to blink throughout the day, that it tends to fade away the corners. So I would deepen them up if I were going somewhere to make it last longer. So now I've kind of dipped my finger into this Nova shade right here, and I'm going to use that on the, oh wow, a lot more payoff to that than I thought. I was kind of looking for something lighter than that You're My Only Hope shade. That's amazing. The Nova shade is a dual chrome, and I didn't really notice how significant that shift was until I put it there. So it's pink. It appears white and with, you know, some pink shift to it in the pan, but then when I took it and put it on my finger, I could see there was quite a bit of blue, like lavender, maybe even periwinkle kind of reflect in it. But then when I put it on my eyelid next to these other colors, you could really see. So it's not white at all. It's like a periwinkle kind of color. And I didn't see that until I put it on my eyelid. So I'm going to go back in with more of that You're My Only Hope. Kind of put it in there. Again, Again with this. And again with this. And I'm pretty satisfied. I'm looking in my vanity mirror. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Again, I have the same issue that I've been having lately, which is that I can't get the color to adhere to this part of my eye, and it's something about the shape of my eye socket that I just need to learn to work with. I'm trying to get it up higher. I feel pretty good about that. So I'm gonna step off camera and do my eyeliner and my mascara and some lip gloss and finish the look, and then be back to show you what it looks like. It always looks kind of crazy right now at this point. It always looks kind of well, it looks unfinished because it is unfinished. I'm gonna do my eyeliner off camera, and I noticed that you just kind of have to be patient with yourself and allow yourself to look a little bit crazy. The payoff, the finished product is what you're aiming for. The problem is that you can spend a lot of time getting to this point and it looks crazy, and you could tell yourself, I'm just going to put on eyeliner and mascara and it'll be fine, it'll fix it. Sometimes it doesn't, and you are like, oh, well, now you're stuck with it. You either have to just deal with it and wear that for the day, or you have to take it off and either start all over. If you're like me, you don't have time to start all over most days, so you just go with a really simple look or no look at all that day. I forgot that I did want to put something on my lower lash line, so I'm going to use a completely different color. I'm going to use that Queen of Blades, that teal green shade. I am a sucker for green eyeshadow, and it's interesting to me that I didn't start with this, with the greens. So I have this little flat brush. This is a Morphe brush that was part of a set, and it's just a flat brush, and I use that to stamp the color on my lower lash line. I'm not very good at blending. I'm not good at all at blending and blowing out the lower lash line. It always looks kind of harsh. So I know some people will take like a fluffier brush and drag it underneath their eyes, and I find like I just make a mess when I do that. So I'm stamping that on that part of my eyelid, my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take this lighter, like kind of seafoam color, 7 of 9, and I'm going to use that on the inner half of my lower lash line. So it kind of like is like a faded ombre kind of effect. Okay, and now I'll step off camera and do my eyeliner and mascara. Okay, I'm back with the finished look. Off camera, I just did my eyeliner, which is nothing special. It's just a black, the Creme Gel liner by ColourPop. The shade is called Swerve, but it's just black. And I did mascara and clear brow gel. This is not unusual for me. Once I got all that done, I realized that the outer corner wasn't as deep as I wanted it to be. In contrast to that, adding the black eyeliner and the black mascara. So I did go back in with that shade Cylon and just added a little bit more with that tiny detailed brush. And then my mascara is nothing special. It's a drugstore brand. My brow gel, nothing special, a drugstore brand. I don't wear false eyelashes. I don't find that high-end mascaras really do much for me in terms of being worth spending the extra money. I just have simple lashes, and I just do basic mascara with them. I like eyeshadow, I like blush, and I like highlighter and lipstick. That's where I like to spend my money. So if I can find drugstore or brand products that get the job done in terms of my face makeup and my the eyeliner and the mascara, then that's great, because I like to put my money towards the other products. So for blush, it's nothing special today either. It's a ColourPop. I think it's the shade Interstellar. And then I was going to use for highlighter, I had seen other reviews where people used the eyeshadow palette, some of the shimmers, as highlighter, in particular this Firefly shade and the Nova shade, which is the one that turned out kind of periwinkle on my eye, and I'd considered using that. But when I put Nova on my eye, it was familiar to me, and it's very similar to the highlighter by Kaleidos in the shade Moon Cruiser, and it's you see the case is blue, and then the highlighter, let's see if I can make it focus. So the highlighter is very similar to Nova. It looks white, almost pink in the pan, but then you put it on your skin, and it does have kind of like that periwinkle shift to it. So that's on my cheekbones and on my nose today. And then my lipstick is in the shade Seattle by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This was with their grunge palette collection. So this shade is discontinued now, but I do like this shade a lot. I like Give Me Glow Cosmetics formula for lipstick. I really like small indie brands. Most of the YouTubers that I follow, that's kind of what they focus on, and they've kind of led me into this direction where that's the bulk of what I purchase in terms of eyeshadows, is these small indie brands. And I like that. It's the makeup equivalent of shopping local. You're supporting people sometimes who are literally putting together eyeshadow palettes in their living rooms, in their garage, packaging them with love and with care. And it's really fun to be a part of somebody's dream of succeeding in this industry, and the products are fantastic, and I feel good about those purchases. And a lot of times they're considering things like the environment, like they're interested in being cruelty free. A lot of the big brands are too, but the smaller brands are kind of paving the way for that. And so that's what I like to spend my money on these days. And so I've purchased from Kaleidos quite a few times before. I think this was my 4th purchase from them. I knew I would be getting a good product. I knew that I loved this color story when I saw it, but even before I saw the color story, I knew that if Angelica Nyqvist ever made an eyeshadow palette, that it would be something I would be interested in, because I enjoy her looks, and I knew I would like it. So I'm very happy with my purchase. I had fun filming this today. It started off very uncomfortable, and I think I got a little bit more at ease as things went along. I did film this for my friends, and it's kind of fun and relaxing. Took some time, but if my friends are interested in seeing something else, I would be happy to do that. Just let me know, and I can either review something that I already have, that that I have, that you would like to see. I do have a new palette I have a new order coming from Odin's Eye, so I'll have that that I can maybe review. And I had a good time. Thank you if you've made it this far, and maybe I'll do it again sometime. Thanks.